So today it's going to be my pleasure to introduce Westminster alum Rodney Lyles, who currently serves as the Executive Director of Feeding Kids by Faith. This is a nonprofit organization with a mission to eliminate young hunger by delivering hot, balanced meals and snacks to underserved communities. When I was looking at Rodney's resume, two recurring themes kind of popped up for me. One is leadership, and the other one is hard work. So if you look at some of the things he's accomplished, first off, he was a Westminster alum, graduated in 2013, and served 2 years as the captain of the football team. Yes, exactly. Back when you were winning a lot of games, right? We won. We're winning again, so we're happy. So 2 years as captain of the football team, which really showcased his leadership, dedication, and hard work. Fast forward a little bit further, and we're going to see that he then moved on and got his M.B.A. and then also a Master's of Science in Management and Leadership. This leadership, again, is showing that you can use these skills in lots of different places in life. So he's going to be talking to us today about the power of leadership and also community service and how these skills can be used to impact the world today. So let's all thank Rodney for coming.
First off, thank you all for having me. It's an honor to be back at this institution. It's kind of surreal to be standing on this side because I was one of those kids who I don't think I showed up to many symposium breakout sessions or any other session, to be honest with you. It was a day off of school for me. That's not to say that anyone else should do it, but that is to say I wish I had taken this time more serious. Because had I known 10 years, 11 years down the line, I'd be on the other side of it. I probably would have appreciated it more. So I'm Rodney Lyles, and I am the founder and executive director, as he said, of Feeding Kids by Faith, where our mission is to abolish youth hunger. That's our main goal. Our niche is we go into these communities where, it's a Title I school. Who in here knows what a Title I school is? That isn't a professor? So it's the schools where, that's what it's done. It's the schools where 50% or more of the kids are on free reduced meals. So those neighborhoods. I'm from one of those neighborhoods. So we go into those neighborhoods and we serve those kids hot meals every day. If you had the chance to review our website or our Instagram or any of our social medias, you will never see us taking a picture of kids eating food because I don't like it. It's that simple. I don't think that we should be taking pictures of those children eating because when I eat, I don't want anyone to take a picture of me. So with that being said, if you have taken time to delve into a little bit more about Feeding Kids by Faith, and you like, why don't we see kids being fed? How you doing, sir?
Good.
How you doing, double, sir? Times two. It's good to see both of you. That's why. It's because I don't believe, as the founder, that I don't want those kids to feel embarrassed. Some people don't accept meals the same way, and I've worked with elementary kids, and I know we haven't even gotten into the project yet. We'll get there. But it's called What's Long, actually. A lot of kids are embarrassed when they have the least, and if you've never been in that circumstance to have to deal with that side of it, you wouldn't understand. But if you are a teacher or someone who knows more about working with kids, half the battle is getting them to accept the meal. So in getting them to accept that meal, we want to create a space where comfort and consistency crossroad, So that's why, again, you'll never see us taking pictures of serving any kids. You'll see us helping kids do homework. You'll see us working with kids outside. You'll see us doing a lot of things, but you'll never see kids eating food on any of our social medias because it's really unacceptable to me. That's just what we are. And we'll dive into it. This is my portion of it. Justice for all. What's law got to do with it? This is Jared Neely. He's also an alumni. So when you all are fortunate enough to walk through the columns, you'll become one as well. But he passed away in March, and he is one of my best friends. So if we can bow our heads for a moment of silence for him and remove our hats, I appreciate it. Ready? Go. Thank you. We played football together. I had the privilege of meeting his family. He was really like a big brother to me. Majority of my life, I graduated from Clayton High School, and I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. So I've known this kid since middle school. Like, this was my competition in basketball, even though he's 6'4" and I'm 5'11". We started off as enemies and became best of friends, and God made it to where we got to walk through the college together. This is one of my only friends that I have a picture with after I graduated. So it kind of sucks. He's no longer with us. In regards to your phones, I don't mind you all being on your phones, but put them on silent or vibrate. I got a whole bunch of phones up here. I got 3 phones. So if I can turn off 3, you can turn off 1. Or if you got 2, nobody got 3 in here, I'm sure. So with that being said, let's respect each other. If you don't respect the person next to you, we're going to respect the women in this room. And they don't want to hear your phone call. All right, cool. So let's move on. What is justice? Does anybody off the top of their head know what justice is? Can you give me a definition? Sorry if I was sweating. I'll figure it out eventually. All right, you back there?
The fair and proper treatment of someone for what they're doing or who they are.
So like that, what we got any other ones? Anybody else? Holy shit. See, like, check this out. There's a lot of professors and there's a lot of administrators and there's a lot of faculty in this room to see us speak. I'll say us because I is selfish. They see us speak because I was one of those kids who I never spoke. I never said anything, but I was really nice in football. Like nice. Like nice enough to be walking around every day and telling the teachers, I'm going to the NFL. And half of them can attest to that. Grab them? No, I don't got time for that. I'm going to the league. That was my conversation. I got invited to go play in Germany, but Germany wasn't good enough for me. So if you really think you're nice, go take the time to look at not just my numbers, but everybody on this picture right here. Excuse me. Sorry about that. On this picture right here, that's Zane Gower. I don't know a running back who's ran more yards than him for that 2011 season in any year before or after him. Look at that guy with his helmet off. That could be someone, standing in front of you. I led the team 2 years in a row and tackling in several other spots. I've had interceptions from D-line. I've done a lot. So if you're in here and you think you're really nice, and you think you want to take that path, be ready to go on an adventure of the hardest journey in your life. It ain't for the faint of heart. And I'm hearing now that, and I'll go back to the presentation. I'm hearing now that a lot of kids, how you doing, sir? Shut up. You play football?
Yes, sir.
You look like. What position you play? O-line?
Yes, sir.
You nice? Can you block him back there? The other guy with the other guy around your size? Yeah, him.
Yeah, I blocked him.
Okay. He might be nice then. Either way, but I say that to say the next guy over, that was James Gladstone. He is currently, if you all don't know, he's the GM for the Jaguars. And Carl Gibbons is standing next to him. He's currently the owner of Given 100. So everybody that's standing out there in our 4-group captain situation right there, we're all owners or really high-ranking people now. And it says a lot about this institution because, like I said, I grew up in Title I neighborhoods. I grew up, who's from St. Louis? Lucky you. Yeah, I grew up in the best city of America ever. Yeah. I grew up on the north side of St. Louis. I was a part of the DSEG program. I think her name was, I forgot the name, so we won't even, that doesn't like this anyway. I got bused in from the inner city to Clayton High School. So I got a really great education, and I got to go home to where I got to go home to. So with that being said, everything that we're doing is because of changes I wish I would have saw when I was growing. So let's dive into this. You said what you think justice is. I'll put my glasses on. For me, hold on, let me make this big. And if you have a hard time understanding me, raise your hand and say something because I was talking to Cinnamon about this earlier. Don't call her Dr. Brown anymore because I'm a professional. Right?
We're friends now.
Oh, we're friends. That's the word we use.
We're friends.
I forgot what I was going to say. Either way, So this is what justice is to me. And that was a great answer you gave back there. For your answer, I'm going to give you a shirt. Okay. Before we leave, you come up here. I got a box full of shirts. And some of you will have an opportunity to win a shirt. I'll break you into groups. It wasn't supposed to be this many people, but we'll figure it out. And everybody will get a shirt in the winning group. So that's what we are. But to me, justice to me, the consistent and principled application of fairness, dignity, and opportunity for every person, regardless of their background or circumstance. It's not just the absence of wrongdoing or the punishment of the guilty. It's the presence of systems and choices that actively create equity. Justice means everyone gets what they need to thrive, not simply what's left over once those in power have their fill. So I say you and my answer, that's pretty close, right? We did a good job. Thank you. When it comes to youth hunger, justice demands more than temporary relief or charity. It's not just about handing out meals when the cameras are rolling or offering food drives during the holidays. Real justice means building a society where children never have to wonder when or if they'll eat. It's about dismantling the structures that keep some families perpetually scrambling for scraps, whether those are economic, political, or cultural. We'll go to the next slide. Our mission, I think we went over this already. Our mission is to abolish youth hunger. How, by what means, you may ask, by serving hot balanced meals and nutritious snacks. Alongside that, we offer positive enrichment. And I'm also going to implement something else, deep learning, after talking again with Dr. Langton. That's his thing. You all didn't have the privilege. Have you all had Dr. John Langton before he retired? So sweet. Great teacher, great professor. I got to speak with him before this. And long story short, the only way that I've seen, and this is still on subject, but we're just going to talk more now. The only way I've seen to make justice make sense for me is by feeding kids. That's like justice in action, right? That's what we should be doing in action. So opposed to trying to figure out who should be serving justice or who should be given this type of justice or that type of justice in whatever capacity it comes in. We saw a need. There's kids hungry in every state. If you go outside or you drive in Como or wherever you're from, if you drive around and you see homeless parents or homeless grown-ups, there's probably some kids somewhere also. So one thing I've learned is the more people you serve, and if money is your thing, the more people you serve, the more money you can make. So you go in and you look at the need, and if you look at every state across the board, the one thing that's prevalent and a priority, or should be a priority in every state, is youth hunger. There's always 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6. America, 1 out of every 4. So we decided to be the catalyst of change. Yeah. And in 2018, this company was developed by yours truly. Professor, him and I spoke a while, and I'm not big on titles, and I'm not big on, I told him I didn't want him to share that I was an M.B.A. I received my M.B.A. on my management and leadership, and I didn't want to be named the founder or the executive director. Wealth is silent, you know? You don't have to speak about anything if you're doing, you know? So I'm more of a doer. So when it comes to justice and when they offered me this opportunity, I was interested, but it also kind of threw a wrench in the system. Is I never really paid attention to this stuff, and now I'm following. So that's the interesting part. But I had to go put in a lot of hard work in order to be on this side. We can go on to our vision now. Our vision in the next 10 years, we want to be serving in at least one city around the Americas. So we'll be in all 50 states, or 51 if that's what you would say, or 52 if that's what you would say. 52 states in the next 10 years. Right now, we're currently in 4. one in Texas, one in Missouri, one in Illinois, and one in Mississippi. So you might ask why we started there. Well, my dad owns a business in Mississippi, and Illinois is where he grew up. So those are the two reasons why it's Mississippi. Missouri, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Texas, that's why I chased my NFL dream and for this feeding kids by faith. Texas. So we were incorporated in Texas. What we do, I think I went over who we are, but what we do, we go into these areas and we attempt to change. I want to use the right word, it's not talking slow. But we go in there and we attempt to change the narrative, the dynamic, and recreate the structure with the systems that have been put in place by people. It's by faith. And the only thing that we've seen or we've studied from experience and research is the best way to get a kid to listen is to put food in front of them. They'll at least eat for 30 minutes. They'll be quiet. So in those 30 minutes, the different things, everything that we instill in them in those 30 minutes could take them anywhere. Like I said, I got professors here that decided to take days off of work to be here just because I was one of those kids who decided I didn't want to speak because football was that serious to me that and I'll say it was them back then, but not only couldn't handle what I wanted to say to you, you didn't deserve to know what I wanted to say to you back then. So, that's the best way to put it. And I want those people to know who made time, those teachers. I truly appreciate them because they didn't have to do it, but I asked them to be here because of the role they play in feeding kids by faith. If I don't meet a Dr. Cinnamon Brown, if I don't meet a Dr. Heidi Levine, if I don't meet a Dr. James McCrae, if I don't meet Dr. Manzor, where am I now? What happens? This had to be a part of the story. So in sitting here, it's cool, and it's cool for Westminster to say that they have an alumni that I'll give you my business card and all that before I'm here till Thursday, so I'm sorry I'll see you all soon. But you can go volunteer and or once right now our building is currently being worked on and renovated, and we are opening our first brick and mortar in St. Louis. It will be called Mary's House. It's dedicated to my mother who recently passed in 23. I buried her in 23 September. So that's the only reason I took this speech was because she knows about this speech. She knows. But with that being said, I know God does everything for a reason. So for him to put such a great opportunity in my face with this and then such a tragedy in my face a few years ago, I got to take the good with the bad. So I decided to try to speak. And one thing that I think is interesting is when I was telling teachers or faculty members, hey, how's your mother doing? Because, Mary was hard on me. Right? She did not play any games. So they asked how she was doing, and I was like, yeah, she passed away. I'm kind of sad that she won't be here to see me. And the first thing that faculty member says, oh, she'll be here. And that's pretty cool. I may not be able to see her, but she can see me. And that makes me feel better than sitting here with you all. Because she'd be sitting right there with you. Or maybe where you are. Either one. One of you got to see. Why we do it. That's where we are now. So why we do it is it's because how many people in here, a show of hands, how many of you, and if you don't want to share because you're embarrassed or you're ashamed, how many of you have had to struggle to find out where your next meal is coming from? Not now, because you don't have to do that, at least some of you, because you got a meal plan. But there's some kids here who don't have a meal plan. So you got to think about those kids too. I was one of the kids who didn't have a meal plan. So how many kids have ever had to worry about where the next meal will come from, cold, hot, package, whatever? Show of hands? Smooth. It's cool. So that's why we do it. I'll say that. So one day, those same kids that we're working with today, they'll be sitting on your side of the table and we ask them that question and they don't raise their hand. sit there and say, we had a consistent, and we had a guy or a team of guys. Oh, and this cool guy over here, I'm sorry, I jump around. I know this is unorthodox. And this cool guy over here, that's Tony Mitchell. He's also an alumni. He graduated from in 15. Smooth. He played football with me when I thought I was good in football and we were winning games. He's a board member. He's one of our board members. He also owns his own company from the Stoop 502, and he does photography and camera work, which is why he's here. He's here supporting me. The camera thing is just a bonus, so he would have came either way. But four of our board members are Westminster alumni. Me being one. Neither one of you know. You don't know Lewis Johnson. You wouldn't know him. He was a big deal when he was here. One of the coolest dudes I know with the biggest heart. And Sonny P. Yeah, you all definitely don't know Sonny. He's the coolest out of all of us. If you've seen him, you know why. And another guy, he graduated from Seaview. One of my best friends / brothers. That's the 5 members. So it's 5 members, and 4 of them are from here. So while you walking around Westminster and, you twiddling your hair, you playing on your phone while the teacher's talking, you don't know how many arguments Cinnamon and I had. Because I'm one of those guys, I'm going to sit in front of the room. 1, because that's what the coach told me to do. And 2, I didn't have glasses back then, and I needed to take my notes. Because this school is very difficult. At least to me it was. I had to spend while I was here, I spent at least 2 or 3 hours in the library every day. And every day. Because it demands that kind of work here. You see the workload. It's not easy to pass your classes here and deal with the workload that they give us, but if you put in the work every day, which is why I'm so grateful for Mrs. White and Miss Briscoe, because they say, oh God, goodness gracious, like these ladies, listen. And they have a window. Have you all noticed the drafted window between their offices? They have a window where they work out these master plans for people, and they were in cahoots with my mother as well. And they kept my mother in the loop, and she kept them in the loop. And I'll say to them, I was going to drop out of school my senior year, 2nd semester, to go pursue the NFL. I went and trained at a facility called 4th and Inches. I have a coach named Noel Scarlett. He was drafted in the 7th round by the Vikings. He owns his own facility. Strong black man. That's what he is. Like that, he taught me how to be a strong black man. So I'm glad I met him, even though I didn't get to make it to the NFL. So I tried out for all 32 teams. The teams I got closest to were the New York Giants and the Cleveland Browns, but the SEC is real. Yeah, Alabama is real. Georgia is real. And if you think that you're nice, which is fine for you to think you're nice, you're not competing with the people you can see here at Westminster. You're competing with the SEC dude who, no matter what, he's going first round because he's in Alabama. So I don't know who all has the admiration to go on and pursue any athletic career, whatever you choose. But it's not going to be really hard. And the cool thing about it being really hard is hard work works. So on the other side of all that hard work, you might find a situation that you have. But you got to go through the journey first. And I don't know who I'm speaking to with that, but just keep that in mind when you're moving through life. Is we were blessed to have a lot of doctors that aren't in a medical center. Here, walking around, doctor this person. He's a doctor, She's a doctor sitting there. Are you a doctor? You see, there's like 4 or 5 doctors sitting in a room with you. I don't have a doctor in my family. But I get to go to school every day and learn. I'm not a history major. I was a business guy, and I am a business guy. And if you sparked something in this lady, not only did she yell at me about the cell phone, because cell phone rules for everybody but me. That's what she didn't know, but she let me know. Yeah, it's for you too, right? So she yelled at me every day. But she saw something in me where she would pull me to the side all the time and be like, hey, Rodney, you want to speak? You want to speak to us, miss? No. Go to the NFL. I don't care about this. I think I actually said that. So, and look who's sitting there now. She saw something that I didn't see. So when these people are talking to you and they letting you know things that they possibly could see in you that you're not mature enough to see in yourself, take heed to it. I never thought I'd be feeding kids, but is the Blue Jay Buddy program still running through here? Do they have a Blue Jay Buddy program? I was the only football player that participated in the Blue Jay Buddy program, and we worked alongside McIntyre Elementary. One day, this is just a funny story. Welty was here. Some of you who's played for Welty? Cool, great man, great man. We had to cancel practice due to rain, and we were 5 o'clock practice team, 5 a.m. None of this 7 o'clock, 3 o'clock. See you at 4:30 in the morning, 5 you late. You know, that's when things are real around here. And they canceled practice, and I had to go do Blue Jay Buddies later on that day. Y'all, and Coach Welty, he respected me. I showed up to practice a little late, but it was more important to me to go spend time with those kids than it was to be out there with my brothers because I already made time in my day to spend time with my brothers. We canceled it, so now I have to keep my. If I didn't show up for those kids, who would miss me more, the kids or my teammates? You ask yourself that question. I think it answers itself. Those kids, they don't have consistency, and I don't know if y'all understand this. By going to this school is in a very impoverished community. This is, besides this, the state hospital, Walmart, probably a few warehouses. What is holding that? William Woods? It's not much. So this school's a big deal to this town. Let's go on to the next thing. Oh, let's take a breakout for the breakout. What time is it? What time is it? Okay, smooth. I got 30 minutes. So I put this in here because I figured there was a football player or an athlete, and nowadays, guys, if you're an athlete, they got the USFL, right? That's the spring league, right? That's a big deal. A lot of y'all can make that. Y'all can make it from here. And I'll say this: I don't regret not going to Germany, but I wish I would have because of all the mergers and stuff that's going on with the NFL going over there to play overseas. Who knows? I could have been one of those kids that was caught up in all of that, but I was scared to go to Germany. I don't know nothing about that, you know. So that's why I didn't go. It wasn't that I didn't think I was good enough. I was scared of new surroundings. But this right here is just a little bit of my time at Westminster College, playing football. Football got me this. Like, I know it may sound crazy, but a little pigskin has taken me all around the world. I've been a lot of places because of set height. So those of you who think that, stand in the world because your dreams don't come true because whatever happens, and life doesn't always go the way we planned it with the cookie cutter example where everything works out. Nah, it doesn't work like that. But one thing I can promise you is that from what I've seen is anybody who puts in a lot of hard work, a whole lot of things happen. And one person's spark could light a fire that burns down in high force. So one person could essentially change the world with a great team. I have a great team. My plan is to change the world. That's just like I told them back in the day, I'm going to the NFL. Say it with the same face. So I plan to change the world. As selfish of me, we plan to change the world. It's that simple, going into every community, showing them